Hello, everybody at People Vision. How are you all? Hope you're all well. Just introduce myself very briefly. First of all, my name is Barry Dean. I'm a training consultant. I live up in Wakefield, up in West Yorkshire, and really pleased to see this opportunity pop into my inbox earlier today. I wanted to just set the scene, if you like, just for a minute or so, just to let you know how I intend to deliver this. I'm going to deliver it as if you were delegates on a Zoom call. And so I'll be asking questions. I won't expect a response, but I'll be asking questions just to display what I guess is required, and a bit of positioning with the delegates as well, just so they know what to expect and where we are in the programme, and it's all management development related. Hi, so welcome back everybody. Thank you for arriving back on time. How was lunch? Hope everything was okay and you managed to get something to eat and a drink and stretch your legs, that kind of thing. So firstly, thank you for all your effort and energy that you put into the session this morning up to lunch. When we get to the end of this afternoon, we'll be revisiting all of that just so that we can chat through the learns that you're taking away from it, as well as the development areas that you want to work on to take back into your business. But between now and then, we've got some other content to cover for your management leadership and management development. And we're going to be looking at the 6 emotional leadership styles. Okay, I teed it up before lunch, so I know that you're expecting that. We're going to talk through the 6 headings just very briefly, because you will be familiar with some, and perhaps not all of them, but certainly with some of them. And even if you don't put a title to it, you will recognize some of the behaviors, some of the traits, and some of the challenges that it brings. So just so that you can get a picture of what this looks like, I'm just going to share my screen with you, and I think you should be able to see what I can see now. So you've got a slide deck in front of you with 6 emotional leadership styles. As you can see, it starts in the top at 12 o'clock with the commander style, and what we'll do is we'll start with the commander style and we'll go clockwise all the way through, and then when we've covered a little bit, a few bullet points on each of the different styles, what I'll do is I'll pop you into breakout rooms. And in pairs or threes or something like that, you can chat through each one, and I'll give you a brief as to exactly what I'm expecting as a result of that breakout session. So, excuse me. So here goes. Let's look at the first style. So I know Alison will be a delegate. So Alison, tell me what you think about what you already know about the commander style. I realize you haven't had any detail yet, but what's in your head? What is it that the commander style brings to mind for you? Great, thank you for that, and you're absolutely right. It could be described as quite a direct route to leadership. It's how shall we say? It's a tell rather than a ask and consult. So perhaps more stick than carrot, and that comes with some potential pitfalls, doesn't it? Of course, if that's the approach taken by the leader, then delegates, sorry, not delegates, employees and team members could be demotivated by that. It works really well if there's a crisis and you need somebody to pick up the reins, get something done and do it. Perhaps even like maybe a pandemic or something like that, if that were happening. Maybe that sort of style works really well. Okay, oops, sorry, wrong click. So thank you for that. Let's move on to the second style, which is pace setter. So again, quite task focused. It's got this person would adopt very specific targets and probably would have really high expectations. Team-based, of course, with individual targets, a team goal, a team focus, but it can create quite a bit of stress. And, you know, all that goes with stress is probably absence and perhaps even demotivation, that kind of thing. So here's another one, the affiliate style. So this promotes really effective, efficient team working. It aims, I think, to connect people, and it brings everybody into the team with perhaps one vision. It resolves anything around conflict because that's the nature, if you like, the characteristics of it are there in a very supportive kind of style, and it works well in pressured areas or conflict. It resolves that kind of issue. Just because of the characteristics, and we'll dig a little bit deeper into the characteristics when we debrief your breakout sessions. The next one I want to cover is coach, and I'm sure you've all seen this. I'm sure you've all coached other people. I'm sure you've been coached at some point, and of course this is aligned with organizational goals, but it can also be aligned with personal goals. It has a future focus because it's about what happens differently next time in a similar situation or a new situation, and it's relationship based. So the relationship is crucial. Maybe that's one of the things that you could explore in your breakout session, is why it's so relationship based. What are the advantages and disadvantages of that relationship? Why does it work better in a good relationship? It perhaps falls down if the team is perhaps a little bit demotivated, or they're not heading in the same direction. They don't have the same foresight and the same objectives, the same intent, if you like. So there are pitfalls even in that sort of style. Let's move on to the democratic kind of style. We all know what democracy is. It's a listener type approach. It's not particularly directive, although direction might need to be kind of discussed, but perhaps agreed rather than told. It is an opportunity. It creates opportunities for people, and it also relies on the team and individuals within it to make some decisions about the direction, about the objectives, about how we can achieve what needs to be achieved, as well as what needs to be achieved. Any downfalls? Well, why don't you discuss those downfalls, the pitfalls, if you like, of that democratic approach in your breakout room? And one more to look at, the visionary. So this is quite an inspirational kind of style. Visionary leaders, perhaps Steve Jobs, you might put into that sort of category. It relies on a common goal. that people know exactly where they're going and where the organisation needs to go and what they need to do to achieve that. Perhaps they don't know the how we're going to achieve it, but it's innovative. It may be even experimental, and it works where there's significant change needs to be applied, if that makes sense. Excuse me. So we're all back and we can see each other. That's fantastic. So welcome back. So that was a bit of a whistle-stop tour, if you like, of those 6 emotional leadership styles. I want to bring this to a close now by putting you into a breakout room. So here's your brief. I want you to do 3 things. I want you to, you're going to be in pairs. But what I want you to discuss in your pair is the situation that you might use that particular style in. So that's the first thing. In which situation would that work? The second thing I want you to think about is what behaviors would you see when that style is being used? And the third thing that I want you to think about is any challenges that that particular style might struggle to come across. What challenges might it struggle with? So they're the 3 things that I want you to look at. If at this moment in time, I would probably ask someone just to explain those back to me, so I know everybody's understood it the way that I meant it. And of course, then put the delegates into a breakout room with a timing set on it, probably six headings, probably 3 minutes each, so maybe 15 to 20 minutes, something along those lines. Set the timer and then debrief that activity after that timing. So we all get back together in the room. We have a look at what examples people have come up with in terms of what situation would it work in, what behaviours would you expect to see, and any challenges that they might come across using that particular emotional leadership style. And after we've done that, we'll move on, position the next session and move on to that. Alison, I think that's probably enough of emotional leadership styles for now. So thank you very much for that, for this opportunity. I will drop you an email. You'll already have an email when you see this, obviously, with a link to where it is. And well, I hope to be speaking to you soon. Thanks very much for your opportunity, and stay safe and have fun. Bye.